guy named Sam Thompson's a clown. He's like, Dave, you should join the band, man. I'm like, nah, dude. He's like, no, come on. You just run around. I'm like, yeah, it's the guy from the Boss Tones. I'm like, all right, Sam Thompson, I'll do it.
Dave Zegarac.
Dave's dancing always stuck in my mind. Like Dave always had so much stage energy and so much presence, and he'd pull it out. Like he isn't that kind of guy. He's like such a laid back guy. Then he'd go on stage and just kind of like, he would just have so much energy.
He kind of owned the band.
Oh.
Most ways. He got us a lot of shows. He definitely contributed a lot to the development of the band, even without being in the band. Well, yeah. Someone's gotta stick the cattle prod in the cow's ass, to speak figuratively.
Zegarac was an annoying addition to the band, to be honest. Doing the typical Zegarac screaming over Grandpa's Army ska, I was like, hey, I don't know, I felt it didn't really fit in.
Anyway, he was at a couple of the shows, and he was kind of a screamer, right? And an egg shaker. So he, I mean, it was fun having him on stage. You know, kind of got everybody in the audience, got everybody on stage going too.
One of the last members to join, he was fun. He yelled a bit too much, but you know, yelling gets the crowd involved too, and he got us a lot of shows. He was definitely a huge help to the band.
Who are we talking about? Dave Zegarac. Yeah, that guy's hated worldwide. Like, most people in Winnipeg, you go, who's Dave Zegarac? And they go, oh, I fucking hate that guy. That guy's a piece of shit.
I barely remember him being in the band. Like, he would just show up to the random show. And it was kind of like, what is he doing here? Why is he on stage with the band? He doesn't play in the band.
Back and forth, the horns were swaying, while in the crowd all the kids were saying, everybody come on.
I was new to town, and I was trying to find some people to meet and kind of similar interests, and I contacted members of local bands, and at the time there was Holomelka and the Racketeers and Grandpa's Army. And Grandpa's Army came up on the stage, and I'm like, wow, you know, these guys have good sound. It's fun, it's upbeat, the crowd seems to like them, and that's kind of where I met some of the members, such as Sam and Alex. It became known that I could play saxophone, and Grandpa's Army had a couple of floating members who would be in and out every once in a while, and I just started coming to practices, and then one day they were like, okay, so you're playing tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, all right then.
Jamie.
Jamie Cote. Oh, I was one of the ones who actually liked Jamie. I don't know, no one else liked Jamie. It's a shame.
I guess there was a lot of contempt in the grand scheme of things in the band over Jamie. I never really disliked him very much, though, regardless of that, to be honest.
He's just one of the most annoying people I've ever met. Like, frankly, it's just like, you want to be nice to the guy, but you want to be like, listen, the sound of your voice aggravates me. He wanted to pretend like I think he was in like the world's greatest band, and like you would just be like, no, relax. Like, and he was like super hardcore and just, I don't know, he was unique.
When Jamie joined the band, that was when the band jumped the shark. It's all downhill from there.
He sort of like lived and breathed ska. He was like the ska guy. And it's like, hey guys, yeah, I'm from Montreal, and I used to be in these ska bands and blah 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 blah. And we were always short on horns, so some people thought, hey, why don't we get another horn player in the band, right? He played the same instrument as me, and so like I don't know if there was tension there because of that or something, some kind of like tenor rivalry or anything. I don't think so, but.
I'm not sure whether it's good or bad to have him in the band, because he was so enthusiastic that was good. Like, it was at a time when a lot of people really weren't that enthusiastic, but I'm not sure, like, maybe just having him there, he annoyed a lot of the people, and like that probably didn't help with like them wanting to be in the band, you know. And I did like his like enthusiasm, like, it was, you know, at least he was into it. But a lot of people weren't, and so I was like, okay, well, at least he wants to do it, you know.
Jamie Cote, I believe, was the beginning of the end for the band. When he came in, I think we all started hating each other because of Cote. Where that guy would like said he was like 19 or something, and he was from Montreal, right? Turned out to be like what 27 or something, like fucked up, and he was like still in high school, and it's like, man, this guy is retarded. He was like supposed to be this like big ska head who like was friends with the Plant Smashers and all this other garbage, and it's like, no, none of it worked out.
At practice, he'd always complain about his reeds being broken or something, which became like this running joke with us. And I mean, it's not really fair because like I sucked at my instrument and a lot of other people did too, but at least don't like make up nonsense excuses, because I mean, like Will and James always had new reeds too. It's not like they were using these like disgusting old reeds the whole time. I hope they weren't. And I don't even know what a reed is.
Part of my experience in Grandpa's Army, it wasn't all good. I gotta say that a lot of the members of the band were friends since high school, and I felt like I was kind of like an outside ring of a clique that already existed. And while I got along really well with Sam and for the most part Goldwyn, I felt a lot of animosity or coldness from other members of the band on a regular basis. And I think it's mainly just because of the fact that I was not a member of their original clique, and I was a new person, and I'm a bit boisterous. I know for a fact that certain members of the band, such as James, for instance, just did not like me whatsoever, and that's fine, you know. But that made it difficult for me because I honestly really just wanted to fit in, and I felt a lot of times that I didn't really get that chance, especially in the, for instance, the reunion show where I would have liked to play tonight. I mentioned that I would have liked to have played, but based on politics and past opinions of people, that didn't really work out.
He was really earnest, and he really, really wanted to be everyone's friend, and he really wanted to be in the band. I mean, he loved ska, and when he first joined, I think that even throughout his sort of tenure in the band, I was the only one who was really friends with him to the point where I'd hang out with him voluntarily outside of the band. I know a lot of people he wasn't their favorite guy because personality clashes or whatever. It is kind of disappointing that I know he feels sort of slighted by some of that stuff that happened in the past with everyone. I mean, but he is overbearing. He can be sometimes, and I think that didn't work with a lot of people. His vocals were awesome too. When he threw in backup vocals, it really helped because Dave usually just screamed, and Johnny being in key wasn't really Johnny's strong suit. So Jamie definitely was a good vocalist, and he did a lot of backups, and especially in some of the cover songs that worked well.